Okay, you guys, today we did bell ringer number 2. You are to write all of the items listed that are associated with the Paleolithic age on your bell ringer sheet. Remember, this is bell ringer number 2, so it goes right under the first bell ringer that you did. Alright, the first thing we're going to do today is look at the pictures that are on the screen, and you're going to tell me what each one is and what its purpose is. So raise your hand if you know the first one. J2.
It's a scraper.
Okay, a scraper, what is it made of? A stone. Yes, rock or stone. Okay, Samantha, the second one.
The second one is a necklace.
It's a necklace. What's it made of?
It looks like it's made of a rock.
Yeah, looks like it's made of a rock. Okay, third one.
It's lightning.
Lightning, what's its purpose?
What happens when it's stormed outside and the strike thing.
Okay, and when the cavemen were around, what did this provide them? Fire. Okay, it gave them fire. Alright, fourth one. What is this, Sam?
It's another source of fire.
It is another source of fire because that's a what?
Volcano.
It's a volcano. Okay, next one, Anna. This one.
Looks like a drawing on the wall.
Yes, it's a drawing on a cave wall. This one actually goes more toward middle Paleolithic time, which is actually Mesolithic. But some people call it later Paleolithic time. Okay, so that is a cave drawing. All right, number 6. This is a new one. What do you think this one is, Weston?
It's like a necklace with bones on it too.
Yeah, it's a necklace with bones on it, and if you look really closely, like right here, and maybe right here, not this one, okay, that one's too long, but these, they look like teeth. Wow, that doesn't make the mouth hurt at all, does it? Oh, me lose tooth, make necklace out of it. All right, number 7.
Not how big their teeth were?
Your teeth, if you include the roots, are pretty big.
Oh.
All right, number 7. What do you say?
A scraper.
A scraper. I want you to look how big that is. Okay? On the picture that you had, they looked small, didn't they? This fits in your whole hand. So were they big?
Yes.
Were they able to scrape meat away from the bone with that?
Yes.
Absolutely. All right, and last one. This one is a term I'm looking for that covers all of these pictures. What do you say, RJ? No?
Simple tools.
Simple tools. There we go. Simple tools. Because that's choppers, scrapers, you name it. They look just like rocks, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay? All right, the first thing that we're going to do before we get started is we're going to watch a video. All right, we're going to watch a video on the first tools.
The organization of the brain gives us reasoning ability and problem-solving skills. Tool-making is a good example. The first tools created by hominids were made of wood, bone, and teeth. One of the early tool makers was Australopithecus garhi.
This happens to be Australopithecus garhi. This is the recently discovered thing by Tim White from Ethiopia. Dates to about, I think, 2.6 million years.
That's a
As
mold of his
associated
brain.
with stone tools.
Who's?
The brain size on
Australopithecus.
this is coming up to about 450 cc's.
The first stone tools were simple chips of rock or hammerstones.
The earliest tools, earliest stone tools, appear about 2.5 million years ago. And they're tools like this, very, very simple affairs. This is on a stream cobble, and just a small number of flakes have been taken off to give an edge here that might have been used to scavenge animals that were already dead. This is not a weapon. It's an object to access meat. As we move forward in the record, we begin to see beautiful stone tools like this. This comes from a period called the Acheulean, which began about 1.8 million years ago. And we see these objects very carefully formed with large flakes taken off and then smaller flakes around the edge to give it that final touch. What's very interesting about the Acheulean is that there's a great deal of regularity in the form over a long space in time. This is African, this is from Somalia, and this is from France. And there's probably 1 million years between these two stone tools. So there's great regularity, great standardization of these tools. They clearly knew what they wanted, and they clearly knew how to do it. So information was being transferred, not only between individuals, but between generations. And as we move on, we begin to see even more carefully formed tools like this. This is Mysterium, and it still has the same basic shape, but there's been extra care given around the edge to give it a very fine form.
All right, on your page that has Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic, I want you to draw a box around these two, Paleolithic and Mesolithic. Okay, because those two go hand in hand, sort of. All right, so I just want you to see that when we're talking about Paleolithic and Mesolithic, you're going to see a big overlap in time between those two. Alrighty? Sometimes people call Mesolithic the later Paleolithic age. Alright, let me move back now to Mesolithic. Okay? Meso. Do you know what that word means?
Middle.
Middle. So this is the Middle Stone Age. Okay, I want you to find on your cards, find Mesolithic. And then find Middle Stone Age. And we're going to make our chart again. Okay, Mesolithic, Middle Stone Age. Now, I want you to find the time period that is middle time period. You have two on your table. Which one is the middle?
This is one.
Okay, Skylar, which one do you have holding up? What's your dates? Tell me.
15,000 BC to 6,000 BC.
That's it. So Middle Stone Age is 15,000 BC. So I think here says 6,000. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Yes, no, boys in the back?
Yes.
6,000 BC. What's BC mean? Before Christ's birth. All right, so find that card now and put it with Mesolithic. Okay, first thing that we're going to talk about are the tools. Their tools were more complex. Now, certainly not like our tools today, okay? Not like chainsaw, not like hammer, not like screwdriver, nothing like that. But it was more complex than just a rock. Okay? And I should go back up here and tell you to add this too. Sometimes, okay? Sometimes, I should make this an arrow. That looks crummy. Sometimes this is also called, okay? Sometimes called later Paleolithic. If I could write, that would be fabulous. Okay, sometimes it's called the later Paleolithic. All right, their tools. Their tools are things like fish hooks. Okay, you have a picture of a fish hook on your table. Can you find it? Yep, Samantha's got it. Can you find it? Yep, William's got it. Can you find it back there? Blaze, do you see it? Hold it up again, Samantha. Do you see it? That's it. Fish hook. Okay, their fish hooks are shaped like this. Okay? You don't see a hole in the top to put a string. Do you?
No.
No. You don't see something else that our fish hooks have. Our fish hooks look like this. What's the purpose of that?
The fish will bite onto it.
Yeah, it's so that if a fish bites it, it can't get off easily. Okay, so which one is the fish going to be able to get off of easier? Theirs or ours? Theirs, okay? But is it still better than trying to stand in a creek and catch one with your hands? How many of you have ever tried to catch a fish in a creek with your hands? Okay, I'm not talking about little minnows, because if you hold your hands out, like couple them out, minnows will swim into it and you can catch one. I'm talking about a big fish. How hard is that?
It did not work.
Okay, it did not work. Okay, it did not work out so well. Alright, it's at least easier, even have a fish hook like that, to catch fish than it is to try to catch them with your hands, right? Okay, so they had fish hooks. Alright, the next thing that they had was they had a bow and arrow. Alright, there's pictures of bow and arrows there. Can you find it?
Right here.
Absolutely. Did you get it, RJ? Did y'all get it? Okay, put it with Mesolithic. Alright, another one they had was a spear. Now, the spear was a stick that was sharpened on the end. There's not a picture of it now because you put it in the other bag. But do you remember the caveman that's in there with the spear up like this? Yeah, okay, so that's probably what it looked like. So they had a spear. They also had, and there's not a picture of this one, a saw. But do you remember that big stone she showed you in the picture that looked like a huge arrowhead? Could you use that to saw?
Yeah.
Absolutely you could. Okay? So do you see how their tools are a little bit more complex than the really, really old Paleolithic? They're not just a rocky phone. They've actually chipped off the edges, right? And made it sharp.
I made the arrows and stuff.
Absolutely. Okay, so do you have all your tools before I erase this? Okay, your next one is technologies. Okay, technologies. Now, they did not have an iRock. Get it? iPad? iRock? They did not have an iRock. I know. I missed my calling being a comedian. Wow, tough crowd. Okay, technologies. Their technologies were things like the canoe. There are 2 pictures on your table of a canoe. That's one. Everybody kept picking this one up, and you didn't know what it was. Hold that back up, Kennedy.
Oh,
That's a canoe.
That's yours.
Okay. All right, and the other ones, which one looks more advanced? Yes, the ones that are laying on the seashore, right? Okay, put those with Mesolithic. They had a canoe. They also had pottery. There are 2 pictures on your table of pottery. Do you see them? They both serve the same purpose. What's the purpose of those?
To hold water.
Yeah, to hold things. Berries, nuts, water. Okay? Wouldn't it be much easier to go down to the creek and get a big bucket of water and carry it back to the cave rather than go to the creek and get a drink every time you got thirsty? Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Okay, so 2 things of pottery. Put them with Mesolithic. Okay, do you have your technology?
Yes.
All right, let me erase these. I'm gonna go ahead and erase this out of the way.
We were way more advanced in the Mesolithic than the Paleolithic.
They're getting more advanced, aren't they?
We have canoes.
We are way more advanced, yes. Okay, tell me what kind of language they had in the old Stone Age. RJ. Not gibberish even. What was it? Grunts.
Like you said you like Kennedy and then me.
Okay. All right. So in the Mesolithic, their language is starting to develop. Okay.
Like chocolate.
Do you think they spoke English? No.
Whenever they started speaking the language,
No. They made up their own words for things. Okay. So, yeah, but they probably wouldn't say lightning. It would be a different type of word. I don't even know what it would be. But they didn't speak English. Okay. English came along later. Okay, so their words, do you know how when a little bitty baby is starting to say things, how they sound when they point at something and they say it? That might be kind of similar to what their language was sounding like. Okay?
My baby cousin can't say draw, she'll go dog.
Okay, there you go. So that might have been something like that. So when your language is developing, when a little baby's language is developing, do they often point to what they're wanting and try to say it at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay, so what these cave people would probably do is they would point to an object and start making that same sound toward that object. And it would have a different sound than this object or that object. Okay? So their language is starting to develop. All right, next one. Okay? They did, let's see, okay? The main way they get food. Okay? Main food source. They are still, that's a capital I, sorry, that looks terrible. Still hunter-gatherers. Gatherers. Okay, they're still hunter-gatherers. All right, what was the role of the men? To hunt. What was the role of the women? To gather. Okay? So they're still hunter-gatherers, but something is coming along to help them. Come on, pen. There we go. Something is coming along to help them get more food. Okay? Now, something occurred. They started doing this. It was called domestication. All right?
Oh, how you
Now,
dog your friend.
how many of you have seen the movie Ice Age? The very first one. All right, in the very, very end of the movie, when Manny and Sid and Diego are trying to find the baby's family, remember that?
Yeah.
And the family is up and they've gone up and over this hill, remember? And they can see them, but the family doesn't know that Diego and Manny and Sid are behind them. And Manny's carrying the baby in his tusk. You remember that? Okay, something that was with the people, something that was with the baby's family, saw the mammoth and the sloth and the saber-tooth, and it did something. What did it do? What was it? Do you know what it was? It was a wolf. What did it do, Williams?
It started barking like crazy to tell the people that they had company.
Okay. It turned around and ran back to where the mammoth was, right? Started running back toward it. And was it barking?
Yes.
Yes, it was barking like crazy, right? To tell the people, stop, there's something coming up behind you. Okay? They domesticated animals. One of the things that they domesticated first was the wolf. Okay? And they turned the wolf into a pet. And there were reasons that they did this. There were several reasons that they wanted this wolf near them all the time. What do you think one reason was?
Hunting.
Hunting. Okay, so they used them for hunting. What else did they use them for?
Protection.
Protection. What else might they use them for? William?
Their sense is better than ours. Some of them, they can like sense a storm coming before we can.
Okay, so they can sense things. So their senses smell, hear, right? They can hear a saber-tooth rattling in the leaves coming toward the cave probably sooner than you can, right? Okay, what else?
Loyalty.
Loyalty. What else, JT?
Like alert them if something's coming.
Yeah, to alert them is kind of like their cave burglar alarm. Okay, it's their home protection. It's their home protection system. Okay, then friendship. Okay. All right, so we can see why they domesticated the dog, the wolf, into a dog. All right, there's a picture on your table of them domesticating a dog. Do you see it? Is that the one? No, not that one. Is that the one you have? Yeah.
It's holding us.
Okay. What is he doing to domesticate the dog? Raise your hand if you know. What's he doing? He's what?
Feeding. It's feeding.
He's feeding it. Okay. If you've ever watched those animal rescue shows where they have little animals that have been abandoned and they're scared of humans, what's one of the first things they put out to catch it? Food. Okay? So, he wouldn't necessarily
Hold it. Just like go up and grab it.
Yeah, you're not gonna go up and go, oh, you're such a nice little wolf, you're so cute. If you want, unless you want your face ripped off, right? Okay. So they would probably get them when they were puppies, because is it easier to domesticate a full-grown dog or a puppy?
A puppy.
A puppy. You ever seen a kitten that was not around people, and when it becomes a cat, they're just what? Wild. You wouldn't dare pick a wild cat up, would you? They would claw you all over, okay? So it's easier to domesticate them when they're small. But is it possible to domesticate them when they're older?
Yes.
It's possible, right? It would just be easier when they were pups. Okay, so they eventually started domesticating more and more animals. What other animals do you think that they would domesticate that would help them? William?
Birds.
No, not necessarily birds.
Animals that were in the cat family?
Something else that would help them. Let me put you on the right track. Oxen. Hunter.
Any food source that they can breed.
Any food source that what?
That they can breed. So
Okay, like a horse. Okay, like a horse.
about pigs.
Did they have horses back then, or just like?
It'd be more like, I'm sure they did. I'm trying to think if it would be, I think automatically of a wild Mustang out there.
Yeah, a Mustang.
Yeah, okay. Alright, pigs possibly, yes. What else?
Buffalo.
Buffalo, they're pretty big. Maybe that might come a little bit later. What's another one, Mason?
Cow.
Okay, that's oxen, cows. What about sheep?
Yeah.
What about goats?
Yeah.
Yeah, because what can you get from sheep and goats, Sam?
Milk.
Milk. What else?
Blankets.
Chicken egg.
All right, maybe chickens. When they said birds, we might think chickens. Okay. All right, now here's a really weird question for you. Okay, now think about this one really hard for a minute. Before you answer, think about this one. Can you, do not answer right off the top, think about it. You can domesticate an animal, correct?
Yes.
Can you domesticate a plant?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to, we're going to take a vote. Raise your hand if you say, no, Miss Phillips, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. You will not domesticate a plant. So I can't go up to this little corn stalk right here and go, you're such a good little corn stalk. You're so sweet. You just keep on going like you're growing. And you could make
Then
more
you'll
sense.
just be a weirdo.
You think so? So, how many says you can domesticate a plant? Who says yes? Who says no? Who's really, in all honesty, really not sure? Because when you say domesticate a plant, that just sounds ridiculous in your head. How many of you think that I need to be put away somewhere in a hospital if you see me petting a corn stalk? Yeah, I probably might need to be. All right. Let me erase these. Okay, the correct answer is. The correct answer is?
Yes.
Yes. You can domesticate plants.
It's easy.
Now let me explain to you how. Okay, this is what I mean when I say domesticate a plant. Okay? We're going to pretend that this right here is my berry bush. Alright? And back there in the corner is my cave. Okay? So I've been picking berries, right? Okay? And I'm trying to carry them in my hands and that's not working. So how many of you have had a t-shirt on before and you pull it like this and you make a little basket here in your shirt and that's how you carry stuff? Okay. Alright. So I'm picking berries, picking berries, picking berries. The kids are over here. They're beating each other with sticks and rocks. And I go, okay, time to go back to cave. Let's go. So I go walking back to the cave. The kids are behind me and I can hear them screaming, stop beating your sister with a stick. Quit throwing that rock. Oh, when your father gets home, he's going to beat you with a club. I'm telling you right now. Alright, I get back to the cave. Every time I've had to turn around, what's happened to my berries? I'm dropping some. Okay? So, the season comes and goes. I've now got bowls. I can keep my berries in bowls, so I can carry a bowl with me if I want to. I keep those in the tub, or in the bowl, in the cave. The next year I go back. I'm walking back to the berry bush. Okay? Kids are back here. They're not much better than the year before. They're still fighting. I get almost to the berry bush, and I stop right here, and I go, well, there's a berry bush here. So I pick some berries off of it, put it in my piece of pottery, go on over here, pick some berries, put it back in here, go back again, stop beating your sister with the stick. I told you this last time we were here. Stop it. I'm going to wear you out when we get to that cave. Oh, you just wait till your father gets home. If he has mammoth meat to eat, you may not be eating supper. You're grounded. Go to the corner. Wait, we're in a cave. We don't have a corner. All right. I get back. I've dropped more berries because I fussed at the kids, right? Okay, season comes, season goes, come back the next year. This year I go back, there's berry bushes all along my way. So I stop and I pick berries, and then it clicks in my head. Wait a minute, I had taken this same path every single year, and now my path has berry bushes growing on it. Wonder what happened, wonder what occurred that made that happen.
You drop berries and the berries
Exactly. I dropped the berries. The berries fell on the ground. They got covered up by leaves and dirt, and it rained. And the seeds grew and made a berry bush. If I'm really smart, the next year I'll take some of those seeds and I'll go right here next to my cave and I'll drop them in this row and that row and that row. And guess what I now have? I have berry bushes right outside my cave. Exactly. What do we call that today that we have right outside of our house? A garden. I just domesticated a plant. I'm not going out every day to pet my berry bush and say, you're such a cute berry bush. You're just so cute. And you're growing so big, so fast. I do not do that, do I? I mean, I might, but I'm not so sure that my neighbors wouldn't look at me and go, whoa, don't go mess with her, she's weird. Okay? That cave woman, she not know what she doing. Okay? Don't mess with her. Okay? She weird cave woman. Alright? I domesticate the plant. The more seeds that I get, the more I can plant near my cave, and I can have what today we call a garden. Is it easier to walk to the berry bush that was 2 miles away versus the berry bush right next to my cave? Which is safer? The one next to my cave, right? Because I'm not risking walking all the way to that other berry bush, being attacked by a wild animal. Okay? I could still be attacked, but I've got something else I domesticated with me. My dogs, who are going to bark and tell me if something's around. Now, they probably went with me, right? But if 2 dogs went with me and there's 4 tigers, I'm a little outnumbered, right? Okay. So, you can domesticate plants. By domesticating plants, we produce what we know as a garden today. If you have a garden, you can consider yourself to be farming. Now, do you think they were really, really good at it yet?
No.
No, they're still learning how to do this. So their main source of food is still hunting and gathering. But the better they get at this, the less hunting and gathering they're going to do, and the more farming they're going to do.
And we'll just be singing that one kid, which will eventually do communities and then villages.
There you go. You're exactly right, Skylar. Sam?
Could that possibly bring like animals to your garden, like outside your cave, so they can like caving and hunt better?
Oh, you think it might?
Like rabbits.
All right. Now, all right, let's move right along. How many of you understand now how to domesticate a plant? Okay, how many of you know how to domesticate an animal? What it means. Good job. All right, let's clear this off. We're going to do the next one. I know, you're going to. That's okay, just squeeze it in there. All right, next one. Housing. Suddenly they discovered we don't necessarily just have to stay under this overhang of a rock, and we don't just necessarily need to stay in a cave. We can now go out and build houses. Now, the first kind of house they built was a pit house. A pit house was down in the ground. So you have a picture of a pit house. Okay, find it. Bradley found it.
I built a little miniature of it and then a little much
Okay. The pit house. I don't think that was it, Hunter. It's just the house. You don't see anybody in the picture. All right, hold it up when you think you have it. No, that's not it. Hold the pit house up again, guys. This is it.
Natalie, I got it.
Okay? The pit house was a hole in the ground. They built a ladder out of sticks down to it, and they put sticks on top of it. Then, those sticks are on top. You see your picture? How they've got the sticks laying up there? You could put brush on top of that. You could put animal hide on top of that. Anything that you want to keep the rain out or to keep you protected, and you could have a pit house. Now, I always joke and tell my kids that if it comes a really, really, really bad rain, you have an instant swimming pool. However, if you're asleep, that might not be such a good thing, right? Or if it comes just a shower of rain, then you have an instant water bed. Yeah, kind of weird, right? Okay, so pit houses were one. The other one, are you listening? The other one, when they had a big kill, like a mammoth, when they killed a mammoth, they used every source they had from that mammoth. Okay? They finally discovered that if they took the mammoth's rib cage, okay, your ribs come all the way around here. Think how big a mammoth's rib cage is. If you took a mammoth's rib cage and the mammoth bone, you could build a mammoth bone house. So, they also had mammoth bone houses. Now, in a mammoth bone house, they could build a fire. Okay, there's a picture of it. Yep, they could build a fire back in there. They can lay the mammoth hide over the bones, and you can make a house. Now, I had a student, if I can find it again, here it is, who did projects one time, and they built a mammoth bone house. Okay? So I'll pass this around. This is supposed to be the bone, of course, and this is the hide off of the mammoth. So you can kind of get an idea how a mammoth bone house would be. All right, kind of cool. That's pretty ingenious to think about using all those bones to build a house out of, isn't it?
Are these like dog treat toys?
Mm-hmm. That's pretty smart, don't you think? Yes, no? Yeah, that's pretty smart. Alrighty? Alright, another thing that came about in the Mesolithic time period was clothing. Thank goodness. No more running around in your birthday suit. Hide your eyes, little ones. Okay? Clothing. Guess what they made the clothing out of?
Animal hide.
Animal hide.
Wait, I thought they had clothing in the
So we put this under
Paleolithic.
technology.
They have food. They have food on them.
Dawson, are you like, oh, that totally changes everything. Gross. Alright, they have clothing. You have a jacket somewhere on your table made of animal hide. That's it. Okay? That goes with Mesolithic. Okay, that one, believe it or not, is not animal hide.
That is straw.
It is. It's a type of grass. All right, so find the one with animal hide.
Right there.
Okay, good. All right, that goes with Mesolithic. Okay? Another very important one. This one's very important. In the Paleolithic time period, how did they rely on getting fire? 2 ways, Odette.
Lightning and volcanoes.
Lightning and volcanoes. Okay, in the Mesolithic age, they have discovered how to make fire. So we have fire. They are learning to make it. All right, they're learning how to make fire. Raise your hand if you know what the first way was that they probably learned to make fire. Olivia. She says rubbing 2 sticks together. Who agrees? Who has a different idea? Hunter, what do you think?
Maybe when they're doing waves or something, they're banging rocks together.
Hitting rocks together? Who says they're hitting rocks together? That's the first way. Okay? Probably the first way was hitting together rocks. Now you have a picture of that on your table. Okay? They are hitting 2 pieces of rocks together. Do you know what kind of rock that is? Flint. Very good. Okay. They are learning to make fire by hitting flint together over probably dead grass or leaves. Because think about it. Which one catches on fire quicker? Dead grass or dead twigs? Dead grass. Okay? Right. So you get the fire going on the dead grass. Then you put small twigs on it when it starts burning really good. And then the twigs get a little bit bigger and bigger until you put big pieces of wood on there and you have a big fire going, right? Okay? So they would hit those rocks together like in that picture, and they would make sparks which would hit the grass and would catch it on. Is that a huge accomplishment for them?
Yes.
Yes, because now if their fire goes out from the lightning strikes or the volcanoes where they've gotten it from, now they can start it back themselves. So if they move somewhere else and build a house, can they build a fire in it?
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay? All right, one last thing. Let me see. I think it's about time for you guys to go.
It didn't like at the beginning of the Paleolithic, weren't they scared of the fire?
Probably. All right, next one. This is what I want you to write before you go. Okay? Under Neolithic, I want you to write the role of men and women changed. This is huge. I've starred it, I've underlined it, I've bubbled it. You're going to see this again. You're going to hear this again over and over and over. This is huge. The agricultural revolution. Write it right now.
Can we do it?
RJ, write this right now. Okay? All right, somebody at this table, will you volunteer to pick up pieces? Okay, Anna, I saw you first. Volunteer to pick up pieces. Sam, I saw you first. Volunteer, RJ, after you write this down, pick those up. Okay? Point for those of you who volunteered. All right, that's the end of class today. Those of you in the internet world, see you bye.